8-year assault on your Second Amendment freedoms has come to a crashing end. I like taking the guns early. Take the guns first, go through due process second.
Well, I say go fuck yourself. Then ask a question, could I kill a man? I would enjoy myself. You can't disguise evil eyes that burn up in my head. This devil man and his master plan. We feel so misled, so I say, rise up, take all that. Rise up, take all that. Hope you all understand. We got to take it all back again.
These people are not going to take it any longer. We will never give up. We will never concede. Our country has had enough. We will not take it anymore. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. So go home. We love you. You're very special. But go home and go home in peace. The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defiled the seat of American democracy. You do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay.
Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? What's up, Riddle? How you doing? So today, both sides are done presenting evidence in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, and I'll tell you what. Until the last piece of evidence was presented, no problem. Figured he's gonna skate by. Unless the jury has seriously already had made up their decision, based on their own political leanings, it should be open and shut. All right? Defense, killing it. So if you're new to this channel, watching this on replay, or you're lurking, yes, I do think that he acted in self-defense, but that's just my opinion. My opinion means about as much as anything as anybody else's opinion. Absolutely fucking nothing. All right? But it is my opinion that it was self-defense. However, The last piece of evidence, and the defense fought this. It's from a drone, like a personal drone, something somebody bought, and it's a very, very far away shot. However, and you saw it in the thumbnail, it might convince the jury that but prior to shooting Rosenbaum, before any shots were fired by Rittenhouse, that he might have pointed his rifle at the Zimmermans? Not Zimmermans. Zeminskis? Yeah, Zeminskis. He might have pointed his gun at the Zeminskis on top of a vehicle. In fact, let me go ahead and pull this up. Okay, so this is actually the stream. I didn't have time to find a clip, and I did look a little bit at some channels, and I haven't, not all, I could have looked a lot more, but I've been busy. Anyway, I looked at some channels to see if anybody's been talking about this, and they're not. And I think, I'm not a legal expert, but I believe it's damning. If I'm a juror, up until that point, I'm voting not guilty, 100%. However, if Rittenhouse actually did point his rifle prior to shooting anybody, now the Zeminskis, I believe, are friends with Rosenbaum. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe before this, or maybe they just became friendly at this event. I'm not exactly sure. It doesn't really matter. But Rosenbaum is in that area. That is shortly before the chase that Rosenbaum goes after Rittenhouse, right? If he pointed his rifle at the Zeminskis and that made Rosenbaum chase him, then by pointing his rifle at them without them doing anything threatening his life, that would mean that everything else that happened after that is null and void. It's no longer self-defense. He would have then threatened with deadly force on somebody who wasn't doing anything that was risking anybody's life. If I'm on the jury, I'm going to be paying very close attention to that. Now, I would be talking about that. That's what would be swaying me one way or the other right now. And I would be asking all sorts of questions. It's a blurry photo. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Let's see.
Well, they enhanced it.
Yeah, well, that's their whole thing. They were going back and forth on them enhancing it and adding pixels to it. So the defense, well, the prosecution, right? The prosecution got this drone footage. They think that it shows Rittenhouse raising his rifle, but it's so far away and it's so blurry and it's dark, it's hard to tell, right? So they got a person with a program, well, it's basically like the pinch and zoom on your phone. It adds pixels, and apparently they're talking about how different colors are different. I don't know. Anyway, the defense didn't want that to come into evidence, and I can kind of see why. Let me just bring this up real quick. Nope. Where is it? Crap. Bless you, Riddle. 1 second. Now, how do I undo that? Let's just go undo. Control Z. Okay. All right. And then let's export that. Okay. Export. Yep. All right. Give me a second. This one thing I didn't do. I should have done. Okay. Let's do. V photos. Right here. No? That ain't it. There we go. No, it's technically not it either, but you know what? I'll do it. I'll just deal with this. Okay. This is my editing stuff for photos. Okay. Unfortunately, well, actually, maybe. If I did this differently, let's just do a window capture. Okay. Oop. You get to see behind the scenes a little bit. All right. So here it is. Can you see my mouse? No, you cannot. But maybe you can see me draw. Okay. So, I don't know who this is here. I have no idea who that is, but they're carrying something big. This is the fire extinguisher that Rittenhouse was carrying. He puts down, right? He puts down the fire extinguisher. They say that he's pointing the rifle. The Zeminskys are right here on top of this vehicle, supposedly. And this is the enhanced version. This is the one that adds pixels. This is from a very far away drone. And it does kind of look, and if I'm a juror, I'm questioning this. Now, at the same time, I'm also kind of concerned about what this is here. This looks to be smoke, but I don't remember the prosecution talking about that he fired a round at them. And I don't think it's audible, but I'm not exactly sure. If this is the case, yeah, if this is him pointing his rifle at these two individuals up here, I'm voting guilty. 100%. I hate to say it, right? Everything up until that point, self-defense, 100%. But you can't claim self-defense if you're the aggressor. And that is the first evidence, the only evidence that I have seen that might suggest that Kyle was the aggressor. It'll be interesting to see. Why is this not doing what I want it to do? All right. Oh, that's why. There we go. Yeah. All right. So now we'll watch a little bit of the footage from it. They're just going to show the pictures. These are the original one. I grabbed a screenshot off of this because I couldn't find a picture online of it either. It was just introduced today. I guess they were working on it up until the last minute. So I don't even know if there's any audio on this. Yeah, I don't think there's audio on it. All right. So this is the photo. This is where I grabbed it from. This, I believe, is the original. And I think this is the enhanced. But I'm not exactly sure. So there's a little bit of motion blur it took out. Yeah. Well, actually, these are two different frames. You can tell these are two different frames because the thing that the person's holding in his hand is at a different angle. But both frames, it looks like he's pointing something at him. Don't know. What do you think? What's up, Gerald? How you doing?
This is Exhibit 155.
Yeah, the Zeminskis got prosecuted. Yes, they're being prosecuted. Doesn't matter. Unrelated. Absolutely unrelated. Doesn't matter. They're going to have to deal whatever they're going to have to deal with that. However, as I said, if he pointed the gun at them, it's not legal to protect property with a firearm in Wisconsin. Okay? So going with the law of the state, not what you believe, if that's the case, and he did, I mean, if he did, and that's up to the jurors to decide because they're done arguing, right? There's no more witnesses. There's no more testimony. They're going to take tomorrow off, and then I guess the court, or they'll reconvene on Monday, and basically they're going to go over jury instructions, and then they're going to have their closing arguments. So, as a juror, I would have a lot of questions about this photo. Is it beyond a reasonable doubt? I don't know. That's each individual.
And now, please Exhibit 156.
He did not fire his gun into the air prior to Kyle pointing his gun at them. No. All right, so, okay, here's the next one. I don't really understand what's going on in this photo. They didn't really explain it. No, so what happened, supposedly, is if Rittenhouse did point his rifle at the Zeminskis, then Rosenbaum started to chase him. And before Rittenhouse fired on Rosenbaum, that's supposedly when one of the Zeminskis fired the firearm. Most likely trying to shoot Rittenhouse. That would be self-defense. And they might, depending on the outcome of this trial, even if Rittenhouse gets let off, I believe they still have a strong case of self-defense if they're going to claim that Rittenhouse pointed his AR-15 at them first. Although at that point he's running away, so you're shooting at him running away. Depends on Wisconsin state law about that, and I don't really know what it is because I lived in Wisconsin, but I didn't own a firearm in Wisconsin, so I wasn't up on the rules. But I think it's very interesting. Nobody's talking about it. I don't even know if Tucker talked about it. Now, this is the live broadcast of Tucker Carlson. I paused it right when he started to talk about Rittenhouse, so I haven't watched anything, so we're going to watch that. Back in January, Joshua Zeminski was charged with arson, disorderly conduct, use of dangerous weapons, fired his gun into the air just prior to Kyle shooting you-know-who. He also got convicted. Yeah, I'm not saying he's not in trouble. I don't care if it's Adolf fucking Hitler on top of the vehicle. It doesn't change the fact that you don't point your firearm at somebody who is not a threat to you. So if he was like, fuck you, I see you, right? Kind of like a pointing with your finger, but instead of with your finger, you're pointing with your firearm. Like, yeah, I see you. And even if it was that quick, he's guilty if that's the case. If he fired his gun into the air prior to Kyle pointing at them, does it change anything? It depends on if he was shooting at Kyle or pointing it at Kyle, I believe. But anyway, let's watch this.
Drew Hernandez is a journalist who covered the riots in Kenosha, Wisconsin last summer. Today, he testified in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. He said he saw Joseph Rosenbaum, the convicted child rapist, charging toward Kyle Rittenhouse, lunging toward him. Now, Hernandez, for telling the truth about what he saw, is getting death threats from the left-wing militia that seem to control some of our cities. Drew Hernandez is the host of Drew Hernandez Live.
He was really good on the stand today.
Drew, thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
He was
So
pissed
tell
when
us
the
about the
prosecutors off
reaction.
'cause he wouldn't
I think a
answer
lot of
what
our
they-
viewers may have seen
what
your
they wanted him to
testimony
do.
and have followed your reporting since the start.
He did some
Tell us
research
the
on it.
reaction that you got to telling the truth in court.
Well, I immediately started getting messages on social media, people telling me to kill myself because I, quote unquote, defended a murderer. Here's the thing, Tucker. People are accusing me of being biased. Even the prosecution
Everybody's
was trying
biased.
to paint this picture that I came
Everybody's
in with
biased.
some
That's
kind
what I
of
would say to the
bias.
prosecutors. Everybody's
My only bias is one thing, the truth. And that's what I was doing today in that courtroom. I wasn't there to give a political opinion. I wasn't there to put a spin on anything. I was there because I was an eyewitness. And I also have body cam footage of the entire night, which I submitted to the defense and to the prosecution, to the state as a whole. I was not there at all to have any kind of opinion to be stated. I was there to do simply one thing, and that's to tell the truth. Because he who speaks the truth declares righteousness. And that is a lost art in the United States of America right now. And I knew I had to do the right thing so that the jury could know, the state could know, America could know, and that the world could know the truth.
Amen. I think that's the highest virtue. So, in your impression as an eyewitness, this Rosenbaum, the convicted child rapist, I don't think we can say that enough, was the aggressor.
Absolutely. Rosenbaum was attempting to push a burning dumpster into police vehicles that were occupied by police officers, human beings. And once someone put that dumpster out, he immediately started to get confrontational with people at a gas station to the point of requesting to be shot by them. And after that skirmish took place, he retreated to the street, covered his face, began to burn trash cans in the middle of the street, and then 2 minutes later, he made his way to Car Source and began to charge Kyle Rittenhouse from behind, and the rest is history.
Really quick, why do you think so many media luminaries are defending this guy, Rosenbaum?
It's hard to do.
I think because it fits some kind of narrative that they were trying to paint from the very beginning. They were trying to...
So he's accusing other people of bias. He has none. I don't buy that for 1 second. Everybody has a bias. He obviously likes Kyle. He's a conservative talk show host or commentator or political... I don't know what his titles he claims are, but yeah, he's biased. What was it? I really hate it. Rhymes with Stinger? Who? What? Binger? Oh. I agree. He shouldn't be saying he's not biased. Well, on the stand, yeah, I get that, right? But watching this kind of stuff, yeah. I haven't watched the whole why did I say Zimmerman? I haven't watched the whole Kyle Rittenhouse trial. I kind of want to go back because I believe the Zeminskis might have testified. And I'd like to hear what they said on that. In fact, let me do a quick search. Shit, we'll just do this kind of raw. I wasn't able to do enough on this. Claim. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. No, I don't know if they took the stand at all. Huh. I'll have to ask Mule. I think Mule has been watching it from the beginning. So yeah, I don't know. I'd like to know more about that. Anyway, let's finish watching this.
Say that Kyle was an active shooter. They were trying to say he was a white supremacist. I can't speak to the actual intentions of why they're doing this. All I can speak is the truth and what I saw and what I recorded and I documented. What people need to understand, for all of you, woke supremacists out there that live in woke world and clown world, I documented this. That none of this today was my opinion. I watched
Right.
this, and I have it all on film, and it was submitted. I just have to state that to the world because people are not getting it, Tucker.
The people who've seen your video understand exactly what you're saying. Many have. Drew Hernandez, I appreciate your coming on tonight.
Thank you.
Like, I wouldn't, if I'm the juror, because they're doing all the lesser charges too, right? So if they don't get first-degree murder, which they're going after 2 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of first-degree attempted murder, right? And then some reckless endangerments and shit like that. And all the lesser charges, so second-degree murder, manslaughter, put them all in there. We'll just go down the list. Choose whatever you like. As a juror, if I'm persuaded to think that he did that once, like, brief second, right? Just, I see you. I'm not going to do it on first-degree murder, but probably more around at least aggravated manslaughter, right? Because you don't point your firearm at people. You just don't. And I know he's a kid, and he did a lot of, good trigger control and everything that after that, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's definitely self-defense. Yep, that's definitely self-defense. But it all changes. It's not self-defense. If for even a split second, he pointed the end of that barrel at somebody. And that is why Rosenbaum went after him. You know what I mean?
So in this country, from its inception, you are innocent until proved guilty by a judge or jury. That means that every American citizen has a right to support the legal defense of anybody on trial, period. That's an absolute right. It's your birthright. So with that in mind, a police lieutenant in Virginia called William Kelly donated $25 anonymously to Kyle Rittenhouse's legal defense.
Dream. We all know that life is full of obstacles we must navigate. But if
innocent until proved guilty by a judge or jury, that means that every American
America's Weather Team is on the new Fox Weather app. Download now at foxweather.com.
Here's an interesting story. Bill Stepien was Donald.
All right. We'll get to this one next. Yellow Pants was on video. Let me check. I don't know why it never comes up what I wanted. Let's see. Victim testimony may acquit the Kenosha shooter. Well, as I said, that's the last thing that came into evidence in the whole trial, and it's the biggest one, in my opinion. I'm surprised the defense didn't have a problem with it. The fact that they didn't have time to get witnesses, or, don't you have to give the defense a proper amount of time before you do something like that so that they can bring in experts and shit?
I would think so.
Just a whole bunch of commentators. Was it interview? Let me just do that. Takes a stand in court. Direct exam of Richard McGinnis. Yeah, I didn't see that one. But that's not Yellow Pants. I don't know. If you got a link, let me know. But yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised because the the prosecution has been saying that for a while, right? He says that he pointed his gun at people, and I'd heard it. But when I watched that video, let's see if I can find. I doubt I can find it. It was, it's a long freaking trial. It's almost 7. Well, it's 7 hours. But I mean, they show video of this from a distance. Actually, I do know where it's at. It's right about here. All right. So this is the actual video. They zoomed in. Where he is right now is right where the pointer is. So they had to enhance that. Let me full screen it. So this right here, this white piece Right here, that's that, whatever that guy is holding. It looks like a target. You know, one of those IDPA targets or something. But that's where they are. And I guess the Zeminskis are up on this vehicle here. But this is the footage. Which,
It's his weapon at the Zeminskis, who I believe you can see once this light, traffic light's out of the way. You
for
play
some
it, Brian?
reason I thought it was over here, but it wasn't.
Please do it one more time, Mr. Stute.
So I guess Kyle is right there. Right there. Right there is where he pointed. Supposed to. It does look like he made a motion. Was he pointing it? I'm just a consumer at this point. Nobody. Oh, you're fine, Zudak. Yellow Pants confronted Rittenhouse on the night. Said he pointed a gun at Yellow Pants. So Yellow Pants said Rittenhouse pointed a gun at him. Okay. Rittenhouse responded, "Sure, I did." Yeah, I remember that part. And that as a juror, I don't care about. Right? As a juror, I care about the videos of what we've seen for over a year now, or right around a year, of the shooting, right? We've seen all of it, except for that part. And it's enhanced. Now, I'm glad I'm not a juror. Not the same incident they're talking about. No, this is a totally different one. This is the Zeminskis, not Yellow Pants. Totally different people. It's boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband. I don't really know what their relationship is, but I know they both have the last same name, so I'm pretty sure they're wife and husband. Supposedly they were up on a vehicle, and yeah, just for a brief second, possibly. Something's beeping in there.
I know. It's a pop.
Let me bring that up again one last time for anybody who's watching this now. This, nope, not that. No, not that. Why isn't it here? Huh. Properties. This one? Nope. Huh. Alright, we'll just do this again. See, display capture.
2.5 says you're very low volume. You are a little bit lower than I'm used to.
Alright. Huh. Sorry about that. I know what I'll do. Take that down. Window capture. What does that do? Okay. Here we go. Nope. Nope. Cancel. There we go. I got it.
HTTP.
What's up, HTP? How you doing? Okay, I'm gonna make this super big. All right. So, if these are the legs of the Zeminskis, this is Rittenhouse. Supposedly, this is the rifle pointing at them. Still don't know what the smoke is. I don't think we've heard of anything where he fired off a round, so I'm not going to say what that it was. It could be a fire burning in the background for all I know. But if this is Rittenhouse, and that's the fire extinguisher, If he pointed that firearm at them before anybody shot or anybody went after him, then he is the aggressor. And as a juror, I convict at least on manslaughter aggravated, maybe more than that. If I were a juror, that wouldn't convince me. The firearm could have been pointed up and away from the Zeminskis. They need a witness or something. Yeah, I don't know what I think with that. Huh. All right. I'll just leave that up just because I've been going back and forth with it. What's up, Jupiter 5? Welcome. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. How about you, Jupiter 5? What do you think? Was he pointing the gun? I know this crowd, right? I know we're conservatives. I wouldn't call us Republicans or anything, or even alt-right, but you know, I believe in the truth. And up until this point, up until, you know, this piece of evidence, I was 100% on the side of Kyle, but that's concerning. All right, I think that's going to be where I end it, unless y'all have anything else you want to talk about with it. You can't tell which way the rifle is pointing. You can't even see the rifle at all. Yeah, it is. It's a hard thing to look at, right? We have, this is the video, right? This is the video, drone footage of the event. Right now, where it's frozen at is the photo. This is kind of like one of those hide and seek picture books, you know, where you got to find all the weird shapes. I had the hardest time. They actually had to point to the area, and even when they pointed to the area of this sign, I still couldn't see it very well, right? I had no idea who Rittenhouse was in that group. It wasn't until they blew it up that it was a little bit easier. Oops, not that one. Yeah, that one right there. It wasn't until I saw it zoomed in that, yeah, I'd be questioning. Yeah, it might not be pointed at them, but why would you point it up? The volume is suddenly better. Well, I had, yeah, that's because I had increased it. So if you don't know, I have a, there's a, I guess it's an app or program or whatever that I run my microphone through so that you guys can hear me. And lately, every time I restart my computer, it goes down to 50% and I have to up it to 100. So I do apologize for that. And the fact the prosecution can't even get a witness to say that because Zeminski won't testify because he's hostile to the prosecution. Really? Oh, HDP, please do enlighten me. I have no idea what you're talking about on that. I didn't catch the beginning of the trial. And I don't know why the Zeminskis wouldn't testify. I mean, shit, if you want Rittenhouse to go to, I mean, they're already going to court for their own issues, but yeah, they don't testify, and there wasn't any other people there to say that, you know, he did do that. What I don't like, though, is that they didn't give the defense much time to get, like, an expert. Although I don't know if they would have requested it if they thought they needed to. Maybe they think they have it in the bag. Why did they even put Rittenhouse on the stand? And I agree with the left and all the commentators on the left when they said that those were crocodile tears. I'm sorry, but I do. That was definitely staged. He was very well rehearsed. Obviously, you're going to be. This is your life we're talking about. But yeah. Actually, let me do this one next, because we do have a little bit more with Rittenhouse. Just a little bit more. I wasn't going to do this story just because it's kind of dumb and it's about LeBron James. But the memes made me have to do it. LaFlop James, torched on Twitter for mocking Rittenhouse's drama. LeBron James ridiculed Rittenhouse in a tweet Wednesday because the defendant cried on the witness stand while describing events that forced him to kill two assailants. James even implied that Rittenhouse was spouting crocodile tears. I think, in my opinion, I think it was as well. What tears? I don't see one. Man, knock it off. That boy ate some lemon heads before walking into court. Yet James himself has pouted for about far less significant things. Yeah, I like this, including when the Phoenix Suns eliminated the Lakers in the first round of the 2021 NBA playoffs. He stormed off the court before the game had ended. So, I mean, he's got a long history of being a sore loser. But what that has to do if it was crocodile tears or not. And, you know, from a conservative point of view and somebody who's thought he was innocent since day one, I think it was too. I think it was crocodile tears. One woman nearly got caught making a crying face about James behind his back while she sat in the front row of a Cavaliers game. Which one is that? LeBron's such a crybaby. Whoops, I mean, LeBron's cool.
So Curry's still back in the locker room. Green misses the free throw.
I'd be shocked if we saw him again.
That's hilarious. Okay. Several compilations on YouTube, which James flops like a soccer player and whines about bad calls.
Picked off by Jefferson. Foul by Green.
Was it?
On James. And Richard Jefferson in the face of Draymond Green. Looked like a shot to the chest.
I mean, there was contact. James did get hit, but he feigned heavier contact than it was.
Hollywood.
All right, well, I'm done with that. Somebody responded. Chris Fortin, man up next time. Carried to the locker room because of the leg cramps. Yeah. He's got a little leg cramp. He's got to go to the locker room. And this guy, I don't know who he is, plays a Game 6 with the following. He had a broken rib, torn cartilage, separated shoulder, and a punctured lung, and still kept playing. Conservative Twitter also exhorted James for his political positions. Who gives a shit? This person, I like this one. Speaking out against slave labor in China. Accusing a teenager of fake crime in court. We got New Woker. Hey, King, any support for your fellow NBA player? Speaking out against the mass extermination of ethnic Muslims in China, you fucking coward. Yeah, that's been interesting. Why the news is actually not talking about that much either. Who was it? Was it CNN? I think I have an article about that, or I had an article about that. Yeah, right here. Let's go to this one. CNN softens its op-ed on China's re-education camps. Published an op-ed on Wednesday comparing Chinese oppression to the Uyghur people to the brutal policies of Mao, but added editor's note giving the Chinese government side of the story, according to a report by Taylor Giles. Wow, it's like getting Hitler's side of the war. The op-ed was written by Nuri Turkel, something/American vice chair of the United States Commission, yada yada, who was born in Chinese re-education camp, where my mother was detained in Xinjiang, Walla Walla Bing Bang, which many Uyghurs call East Turkestan. Okay, this is her interview. All right, that's why I probably didn't read it. Let's see. What's up, Armed Archangel? You guys blew me up a little bit. Let me scroll up. Can't make much of it. It's difficult, but everybody's different. Everybody's different. Yes, it's difficult. It's very much zoomed in. But you can kind of tell at least where his arms are, and his gun is not pointed to the ground. I forget what Rittenhouse said he was doing with that. I think he said he was moving it to the side. But you wouldn't go like this. I mean, I guess if you were going to put it over your back, but he didn't do that. It went up, it came back down. Let's see. I disagree with you on that, Stinger. Those are two separate situations. Shit, that's an old comment. Now I don't know what you're talking about. Well, I've been watching too much of this shit. I was going to say, you would agree. You would agree. If you point your firearm at somebody that's not doing anything. Okay, once again, state of Wisconsin, you're not allowed to protect property you can't shoot people to protect property. You can only, I believe you can, not exactly sure. I shouldn't speak on all that. I do know that you can't use a gun to protect property. So if they're on top of the vehicle, shouting at him, calling him names, whatever, right? Which they probably were doing. If he did that, that's no longer self-defense. It's just not. I can't go up to somebody and be like, hey, how you doing? And then put it back in my holster. I can't do that. If I do that and then he attacks me, I'm the one that started that. I'm the one at fault. Is it first-degree murder? Probably not. The fact that the prosecution can't even get a witness to say that. Sorry, I had missed that, Armed Archangel. I had passed it up. Did they get enhanced video into evidence? Yes, they did. I believe, I don't know if it's the video or the photo. Well, I think it's just the photo. Yeah, it's just a photo, and I can only say that because they're not introducing any more evidence. The jurors have the non-enhanced version, I guess. So they can watch that. They can see the photo. They saw the photo. Defense discredited this picture enough because the police forensic guy got... Yes, the guy that was up there talking about how they do this with the zoom feature and enhancing the photo must have been his first time on the stand. He had no... He's an expert. You get this? The prosecution called him to testify as an expert. And he was hemming and hawing the whole damn time and didn't know anything. Might as well. Skipping forward a little bit.
Thank you.
In bold, interpolation, right?
Yes,
And then next to that it says bicubic.
that's correct.
Okay, and what does that mean?
Means that the interpolation algorithm that was selected was bicubic.
Are there other interpolation methods that you use?
There is, yes.
And what are some of those?
For example, nearest neighbor is one. Bicubic, bilinear.
I think it was a sudden flashback. Look at his legs. That is not a shooting stance. There's no defense or aggression inspired.
The photo that...
So with that, you don't have to be trying to shoot at somebody. I'm not saying he shot at him. The cloud of smoke is weird, but I'm not saying he shot at him, right? All he had to do was point it. That's a threat. That's a threat. If a person points, first of all, that's why the prosecution has been talking about bicep guy, right? Because, you know, supposedly he was pointing at a gun, and the prosecution like, wouldn't you be scared for your life if somebody pointed a gun at you? Meanwhile, setting up this, you know, enhanced picture, video, whatever you want to call it. But as far as his legs are concerned, I don't think that much matters. You point a gun at somebody, I don't care what stance you're taking. I'm not saying he even intended to shoot at him. But you don't point a rifle at nobody that you don't intend to kill. In a movie, when the villain jumps on the car, they shoot through the roof. LOL. You're a good stinger? Oh, okay. Thank you. Somebody take a picture of that. Armed Archangel says I'm...
enlarged at the state's request. How much...
This is an expert.
Pixels that you expand, what do you do to make it bigger?
It's based off of the enlargement is the interpolation that is used. So with regards to this references a video that was interpolated and outputted. Are you speaking to? I'm sorry. Are you speaking to the photo?
Yeah, speaking to photo, what number is it?
It's the 1 of 8. You want to show it to him?
So this is been marked as States 155. I'm going to add specifically about that one.
Okay.
Okay. So you have taken a still of a video and you have zoomed in on it, for lack of a better term.
I would not say zoom. I would say it's been enlarged.
Okay. And how do you
We use a algorithm, bicubic algorithm, for that. For this particular, are you referring to both images or just one?
they're both the same, right?
This one was used with a smart resize algorithm, and then this one is used with bicubic.
I'm sorry, you said this one was smart size?
Smart resize.
And what does that mean?
That is a algorithm that is part of the AMP5 software that resizes that image.
So, I don't know if this is going to be, it's easier for me to do it this way, and I don't know if the court, it'll be easier for the court, but in my, tell me if this is right. Can you just turn and take a peek for a second? Yes. Thanks. Okay, so when you are making things in large, right, you are you adding pixels?
Yes, I am adding pixels.
Okay, and so tell me if this is bicubic interpolation, okay? And I know this will be rudimentary, but forgive me. So if these are pixels, R is going to stand for red, okay? And these are red. And these are pixels, and these are blue. When you enlarge an image, what does the bicubic algorithm do to these pixels?
The bicubic algorithm is taking those pixels and resampling, or I'm sorry, is basically duplicating those pixels into another area. Beyond that, I cannot say.
Do you know, based on your training and experience, what color the bicubic algorithm makes these pixels?
I do not know.
Do you know if we know this is a red pixel, and we know this is a blue pixel, and those are real colors, will it combine these two pixel colors to actually change the color of the image? You know what I'm saying?
I can't speak to that.
So you can't.
Yeah, I want to be clear. Listen, the unassigned ones that you have in the middle.
Yeah.
Those are the added ones.
Yes.
Okay.
So the added pixels, and what, to be fair, in terms of what we're looking for, to make sure the color's correct.
I mean, he explained it well, right? It's well explained, and the guy comes across like an idiot. He's an expert that doesn't know anything of how it works. It just does it. So he's basically just.
That goes beyond into the algorithm of the program
somebody,
that I do not have that information for.
Okay, so if I can ask you this. These two photographs that you have enlarged, okay, so you've added pixels to those, right?
Correct.
Okay. And are you able to tell the court the colors that were there originally are actually the same colors when I expand or enlarge the photograph with the added pixels? Are you able to say that?
I'm not able to say that, no.
So tell me if I'm right. So the things that the court would be looking at here, and the colors that the court would be looking at, you can't tell the court that in fact that's the color from the original picture, correct?
It comes down to the programming, the algorithm. I cannot say it.
Maybe sit 1 second here.
right, so I'm going to just pause it right there. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it makes a good point, but this is nothing new. This is not new technology. This is the kind of the same thing like when you zoom in on your phone or when you take a picture from your phone and put it onto canvas and enlarge it to like a 3x5, right? When you do that, it adds pixels. Obviously, this is more important than a photo from your family, but it matters. But did it add pixels enough to where it looks like he's going like that with his rifle? I don't know. I don't buy it. Okay, real quick. NYC's BLM leader threatens bloodshed if mayor-elect fights crime. There will be riots, there will be fire, and there will be bloodshed because we believe in defending our people. Leader of the Greater New York Black Lives Matter, a terrorist organization, warned mayor-elect Eric Adams, a Democrat, that he should expect bloodshed if he strengthens the city's law enforcement. If he thinks that they're going to go back to the old ways of policing, then we are going to take to the streets again, Hawk Newsom said. There will be riots, there will be fire, and there will be bloodshed because we believe in defending our people. Wow. Newsom's sister, Shavona Newsom, co-founded BLM. We will shut down City Hall and we will give them hell and make it a nightmare, she said. Interesting. Aaron Rodgers' vax claims supported by new data from Regeneron. A big pharmaceutical corporation may have produced a drug that not only helps treat COVID, but also helps one avoid catching it. Notably, Green Bay Packer quarterback Aaron Rodgers promoted Regeneron as an alternative treatment for COVID in place of the vaccine. Nonetheless, the mainstream media angrily attacked Rodgers for his apparent subversive claim that big pharma product other than vaccines might also slow the spread of the virus. Well, they don't make no money on it. Holy crap, there's a hell of a delay right now. That's strange. Am I still streaming? Yeah, I'm still streaming. Huh. All right, we're going to have to end this pretty soon. I think my computer says it needs an update, and I'm looking like I'm out of a bad Japanese film right now. So let's get through it. Dissatisfied liberals starting new university to fight far leftist indoctrination. This was interesting to me because of the fact that even liberals hate like ultra left. What's up, John Doe? Riots, fire, bloodshed. They've been doing that for a while. I wish they had some creativity. Yeah, I know, right? Come up with something new. Hey, Anonymous, how you doing? Wow, threatening public officials with violence and destruction of property. Might be want to read Webster's Dictionary defined for terrorism. Yep. I have no problem with anybody that does something like that and wants to burn down and calls for bloodshed to be taken off the street. Go for it. That's a threat. That's a threat. I can't give a threat to public people. I can't go around and say that I'm going to go kill cops. I'm not saying that, by the way. I can't say something like that because that would be a threat. I would be in trouble for saying something like that. Former president of St. John's College has joined with disaffected liberals who reject certain far-left theories to establish the University of Austin, an institution that will aim at the fearless pursuit of truth. Pano Canelos, who led St. John's College, a liberal arts institution from 2017 to 21, wrote a Substack post that the University of Austin will try to remedy higher education, America's most fractured institutions of all. We can't wait for our universities to fix themselves, they said, so we're starting a new one. He claimed that America's elite universities like Yale, Harvard, Stanford have failed to live up to their mottos, light and truth. Truth and the wind of freedom blows because ideologies have embraced intolerant illiberalism over freedom of inquiry and civil discourse. Numerous professors at other universities have joined the project, including many famous red-pilled liberals. The most famous in the conservative circles tends to be Steven Pinker, the McCloskeys, Leon Cass, Jonathan. Yeah, I ain't going to read all those names. It's funny, though, that they hate the other side so much. You know, whatever did happen to those Democrats, you could have a conversation with, disagree with them, right? But still have a conversation. And at the end of it, be like, yeah, well, he's a liberal. What are you going to do? And then talk to him again. Not today. I haven't seen that in a long time, man. People, shit. You know, in my opinion, I think if John F. Kennedy was around today, he'd be probably considered alt-right right now. Asking me what I'm going to do for my country. My country is the reason why we had slavery, damn it. Yeah. I think BLM gets off not due to the left, but due to the CIA quietly doing what the CIA does. Video that testified last, the video that testified last, his video doesn't show pointing the rifle. Well, as I said, it's in their general direction. Is it pointing at them? Is it not? Who knows? As a juror, I'm questioning it. I'm not saying I'm convicting on it, but that was probably the biggest piece of evidence for the prosecution yet that I've seen, and I haven't watched it all. I missed like the first 3 days, 4 days, something like that. Something like that. All right. Sorry about that. You're like Godzilla. I've always liked Gamera, the friendly one. I've never really watched Godzilla's that much. I've seen a few. I saw the one that was redone with Jeff Goldblum. Yeah, that one I liked okay. The soundtrack was pretty good, and the visual effects were pretty good. The writing was kind of... But, I mean, I enjoyed it. I watched it in the theater. I enjoyed seeing a different Godzilla, like a more realistic one. The one that been around for so long. I mean, it was... I get it. It's one of those kind of like B movies. It's so bad it's good kind of things. So I have some movies in my playlist that I enjoy that's kind of like that, right? It's so bad it's good. One of them is called Meet the Feebles. A Peter Jackson film, if you didn't know. So go look that up if you're interested. It's an absolute horror show, and it's not because it's scary. It's just absolutely god awful. Going to be interesting to see if the feds try to get a bite out of Kyle as well. Yeah, I suppose they could if they go after him for, you know, being a racist. Unfortunately for them, though, he only shot white people. No, but they're... Okay. I thought you... Yeah, I know. Sorry about that. I hit the wrong button. Leaders getting a pass for a reason. They have enough to bury them all. Yeah, well, first of all, a lot of their friends are in powerful positions. You got to understand, these are the soldiers of the left. And the left doesn't like to attack their own very much, right? It takes a lot for them to, let's say, demand somebody resign. Look at Anthony Weiner. He'd been a creep for a long time. Everybody knew it. But they didn't want to do anything about it because he's one of them. Everybody has each other's back. And when somebody has to go down, it's got to be really hard to, you know, to spin. If they're not able to spin it, somebody's going to have to resign, right? Believe it, he's compensated. I bet you anything he's compensated. Because they all have dirt on each other. They're not going to go down with the ship, right? Anthony Weiner, and I'm only using him as an example because I love saying his name. He probably got something out of that because everybody has something on everybody, I think. Gamera is the turtle. Okay. I do remember seeing a turtle in the film. Not in the one that I watched all the way through, but I've seen little bits here and there of the other ones, right? So yeah, you're definitely watching the wrong stream. What stream am I watching? Oh, you talking because I'm watching it on what is it, PBS? I don't know. I just did a search for it, like Rittenhouse trial. I didn't even know Fox News was doing a live stream on it. Doesn't really matter. They're not commentating on it, right? There's no commentating on there, so I doubt it's anything bad. You got a link for me? Oh, this is a panel. 240 subscribers. Rikita Law. All right. Oh, so are they commentating while they're watching it? See, I don't like that. I thought about doing that. In fact, if I were to do that, if I was, let's say I did the dragon, right? I had the dragon on, we had the full room, and we're watching the trial and we're talking about it throughout. I guess it's fun to watch for some people. I don't want to watch something like that, but I understand a lot of other people want to watch that. And I know right now, if I had been doing that from the beginning, and I might think about it for the next hype trial, right? But if I were to do that, yeah, for something like this, my channel would blow up. I'd go from, I don't know, what am I at, 12 subscribers to like 50 something. What's up, OMG? I'm glad you made it, bruh. I will check them out though. I have it here. I'll go ahead and subscribe and ring the bell. For now, I might unsubscribe later after the trial, to be honest. All right. All right, so I got to get out of here. Thank you very much for joining me, everybody. I really do appreciate it. Friday, or tomorrow, which is Friday, there is no trial. So we'll be able to talk about other things. And the next time we talk about Rittenhouse will probably be on the Dragon tomorrow night. Actually, you know what? Never mind. Yeah. So, well, tomorrow's chat, tomorrow's evening catch-up. Remember, Fridays, we're over on the Green Dragon. So I'll try to make the news portion short, just like maybe 3 or 4 stories max, probably about a half an hour, and then we'll kick it right into the Dragon where it's an open forum. Anybody can join that wants to join. That's always a recipe for disaster, but it's fun when it happens. So be aware of that. Tomorrow's chat will be on the Dragon, and you're all welcome to join in. I hope some of you do. And we can all talk about the Rittenhouse trial and how I'm wrong for thinking that Rittenhouse might have pointed a gun at somebody who he shouldn't have. So until tomorrow at the Green Dragon Tavern chats. Oh, by the way, I guess we need a link in there. Let me find it real quick, and then I will provide the link for the Green Dragon just in case you're not already subscribed. Oops. All right. The hell did I hit? Oh, it's the intro to the channel. Oh, I'm not subscribed. Hold up. I was wondering why that was playing. All right, there is the link to the Green Dragon. Ah, we lost like 5 viewers, man. We were up to 11 people. All right, so there's the link to the Green Dragon Tavern chats where tomorrow's evening catch-up will be. After that, it's an open forum. I hope to see you all there. HTP, I hope you join and actually come into the chat. That would be great. Don't feel pressured, but feel a little pressured. I mean, just a little bit. And I will make sure, if this is your first time watching, check out all the descriptions down below. We have links to all the places to follow me, all the ways to support the channel, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Share it, actually. If you don't want to send me money, which I totally understand and I'm okay with, sharing the video, getting the word out, because I just started this channel. I would love to get it built up a little bit. It'd be great. That would be the best way to support the channel, actually, is just to share it. But if you do decide to throw money at my face, just know that 50% of that goes to my good friend Irish USMC Vets GoFundMe page. And that he set up because he's trying to buy a piece of land in Tennessee where he's going to set up a center where veterans can come and live, room and board free, and learn new skills to get them back into the workforce, like gunsmithing, blacksmithing, farming, computer stuff, BA work. Riddle says she wants to teach a class there and stuff. Thing is, the jury has already heard Dr. Black explain all this in detail. Dr. Black. I'm going to look that up. As I said, I didn't catch it all. Was Dr. Black near the beginning of the trial? He might have been. I'll have to go look that up. All right, guys. Check out the links. Oh, Amazon links, too. those Amazon links down below, I haven't gotten any money from it yet. I don't know how that even works, but it is an Amazon affiliate link. I'm supposed to get something for having it down there if you buy something. The pickle pipes and the pickle pebbles are down there. If you're into fermenting vegetables, I have those. I highly recommend them. Yes, they're a little bit more than other ones, but they'll last you and they're no hassle. And at some point, you might save money, but you're going to have a pain in the ass. I'd rather just have it, spend a little extra money and not have to worry about it, kind of thing. All right, I'll see you tomorrow on the Green Dragon Tavern chats for the catch-up. Until then, make sure to keep that family close. Watch out for that government. Try to live free as you can in this tyrannical world we're finding ourselves living in. And until I see you tomorrow, peace.